This is the story of how I got the name, the Condescending Waiter. A little backstory. I have been in the restaurant and hospitality industry for over 30 years. I started as a banquet dishwasher at the age of 10. My grandmother was the cook at the local Elks at the time. Fast forward to present day, I work at arguably the best restaurant in my hometown. We have a 5-star rating and a $4 price range on most review sites. We are only open 5 nights a week from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. It was a random Friday night. Nothing special about this night, but I recall the reservation book being approximately 70% booked. A couple entered the restaurant. I greeted them with a typical, "Hello, how are you" routine. They replied innocently with, "Great, thank you." Off to a great start. "Table for 2, they inquired. I replied with, "Did you have a reservation?" A stern, "No," was given. I said, "Okay, let me check the books." I was able to find an open table and proceeded to take them into the dining room. I sat them in my section, and upon delivering the menus I mentioned, I would give them a moment to settle in and come back for a drink. They agreed and I gave them a moment. As I returned to the table, I used my usual, "And how are you two this evening?" Followed by, "May I start you with a drink?" The woman of the couple asked for a glass of red wine. I gave her our options and she promptly selected her wine of choice. The gentleman asked for a cocktail, specifically a mojito. I informed the guest that he was unable to get one as we don't carry mint. His second choice was a Moscow Mule. And again, I informed him that his selection had landed on something we do not carry. We, at the time, didn't have ginger beer. He replied with, he would need a moment to decide. Side note, I've come to learn that this cocktail choosing pattern is just that. It's a pattern I've come across time and time again. If a person's cocktail choice falls on either a mojito or Moscow Mule, then after being unsuccessful in ordering one, the other is next to be requested. Back to my lovely couple. As I returned to the table, I asked the man if he was able to decide on a cocktail I may be able to make for him. He said he wasn't too sure. I then introduced the dinner features for the evening and let them have time to make their decisions. As servers, we tend to congregate around the reservation book area. And a few minutes later the gentleman came to me and asked to speak to my manager. At this restaurant we don't have a manager, it is owner operated. I promptly got the owner and informed him that a guest would like to speak with him. The guest proceeded to inform the owner that he has never been treated this poorly in his life. That I was nothing but condescending from the moment they walked in the door. And that something should be done if I was to employed here any longer. The owner was quick to defend me and informed the guest that if he wasn't happy with the service he was welcome to leave. The owner came to my defense and informed the guest that my ability as a server was unmatched and that the issues he had with the level of service were unrelated to the situation itself. The owner proceeded to inform him that there must have been another issue causing him to feel this way. The guest was very unhappy and became quite loud. He became quite irate and was using a lot of hand gestures towards me. He was interrupted during his rant and was told that we will not tolerate an employee be treated this way and was told to leave. After the guests had left the building, my owner came to me and asked what exactly happened. I informed him he ordered 2 different cocktails we didn't have the ability to make and maybe he wasn't used to being told no. And this is how the Condescending Waiter was born. A few lessons from this experience for both guests and staff. 1. Walk-ins are most welcome, however all tables with reservations are given priority. If you took the time to book ahead, which you absolutely should do, then you receive the benefit of doing so. People have things going on in their lives that have nothing to do with the strangers they encounter each day. I am still unsure as to what caused the outrage. I can only assume that being told they couldn't have something they want set off an angry flare in their head. Being asked if you made a reservation is so that you as guest are brought to the appropriate place in the restaurant. It is not a judgment of character or anything like that. It is merely to keep the dining room organized. Being told no is a fact of life. When you choose something that can't be done, it is not the fault of the staff. We physically cannot make the drink you requested. It was not me telling you I wouldn't let you order such a thing. Thank you for watching. This is the Condescending Waiter.